Hello, Alice, and welcome back to the Mad Tea Party. We have a familiar face joining us once again. The powerful Miss Brooke Haynes is here with some exciting news. Your single "Curse of Clio." Are you releasing that as Brooke Haynes?
Yes.
Okay. We just listened to it a minute ago. I think the way I described it was like Southern Siren. It's like very haunting. Melodic, creepy country folk kind of thing.
Yeah, I always call my genre spooky folk. I'm like, someday when I make a full album, it might be called spooky folk. We shall see.
Hell
But
yeah.
no one's allowed to steal that. I already said
it. And that comes out and is available October 21st.
Yes.
And you can also catch Brooke playing that on the 21st. You have a release show for it.
At the Urban Cowboy, which I still have never been to. So I kind of want to go there to like feel it out before I play there. But I've heard it's really cool, with boutique hotel vibes.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I think it'll be a free show. It'll be at 6:50 p.m. and it'll probably just be like a 30-minute set. But yeah, my whole family's gonna be there.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
The squad.
Got the mom on deck.
Come through, mom on deck. Be crazy. Gang. It'll be a rager.
It's gonna be lit if my mom and dad are there.
They actually kind of do. Like we're going to Oktoberfest this weekend, and every time I go to Oktoberfest with my family, it's wild. Like my dad always ends up making random friends, like just a bunch of young guys who are like, oh, talking about beer, taking me out to the pubs and stuff. My dad gets so excited about it. He's crazy.
Nice. Well, I also have two of my favorite co-hosts here. We have David Pena and LazyPhalanges. Lazy is starting a movie club we've already announced. That's October 25th. So that'll be shortly after this is released. And we're going to talk about The Big Lebowski. So I'm excited to get that started.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I'd have to come through for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So tell us about Curse of Clio.
Yeah, so it's a song I wrote like I think 4 or 5 years ago at this point. I just recorded it about a year ago. But it's still relevant in my life in certain ways. It's kind of funny how you like sit down to write a song and you have like one sort of idea of what it's gonna mean and why you're writing it to begin with, and then it just kind of like, I don't know, as it gets fleshed out, it like becomes its own thing, and then the meaning can kind of change over time. So when I originally wrote it, I was just trying to sit down and write a song about how I felt like my love life was cursed because I just kept like ending up in these situations that just felt like cyclical, and it felt like I wasn't getting out of it. And so sat down and I knew, I don't know why, but I just knew I wanted to like invoke some sort of mythological figure to like tell that story. So I did some digging research into the world of mythology, and I learned about Clio, who is one of the 9 muses. So she's the goddess of history, and she's like the goddess of basically deciding like what is notable and what should be remembered in the lexicon or whatever. She's also the goddess of the lyre, I think. So
that's like the instrument.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's some tea. It's pretty crazy. The story is crazy. Pop off, please. Basically, she's one of the 9 muses, and one time Aphrodite started having a thing with her brother Adonis. Like she started getting with her brother, like Cersei Lannister style. So Clio was the one who called her out. She was like, "Yo, it's kind of weird getting with your brother."
It's kind of cringe to you.
It was kind of cringe. Like you don't want to be remembered for that. Goddess of history. Yeah. I know you'll go down for.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna let you ever live this down.
Like I will be making fun of you till, well, I don't know, eternity like never ends. So just until forever. But anyways, so that pissed Aphrodite off. Actually, she gets pissed off pretty easily. Don't tell her I said that. I'm not talking shit.
Gossiping about Greek gods.
Literally. I'm like, I don't want to start anything. Yeah. So then Aphrodite cursed Clio to fall in love with a mortal man Can't remember. I think his name's like Pyrrhus or whatever. But he was a mortal king. So basically, yeah, she's cursed to fall in love with this man. She knows he's gonna die, and there's nothing she can do about it. But she had a son with him, and the son was named Hyacinthus. And so the son ended up being a gay icon, and he he had all these gods competing over him who were into him. But Apollo was the one who like really fell in love with him, and he fell in love with Apollo back. So Hyacinthus and Apollo had a thing, and then Apollo was teaching him to play with the discus, and they were playing discus together. And then he like accidentally killed Hyacinthus with the discus, like it bounced back, boomeranged into his head. So then he was so distraught, Apollo was, that he like used some of the blood from Hyacinthus to create the flower, the hyacinth. So a lot of times the flower hyacinth is like associated with mourning and death, but like also death always comes with rebirth. So basically, long story short, I was like, that kind of represents how I feel in this situation. There's obviously way more layers to that, but I was like, I don't know, it just kind of felt like one of the lines is about being cursed to like fall in love with another mortal man, which obviously any man I fall in love with is gonna be mortal, but like the idea that like it's not gonna last, they're just gonna go away and it's like not gonna work out. So it started off on that level, but then as I've sort of like gotten older, like now I'm in a relationship, guys, right? So that's cool. But now it's like as I'm singing the song in this current moment in my life, it's like a little less about love in a romantic sense and a little more about like grief and acceptance in general. Because I lost my grandma earlier this year. And so that's been really crazy to accept that kind of grief. And then, oh yeah, another thing about it that I've realized lately is like it's kind of like a commentary on like feeling like you're at the mercy of the gods and your fate is just in their hands. It's like sort of at the beginning of the song, this character, she's like feeling like she has no choice. She's like stuck in whatever the gods choose. Sort of towards the end, it's kind of like a reclamation thing. It's like, no, I can will what I want to happen. Like I can take back my power kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of blossomed into a fully fleshed out thing, which is cool.
Yeah, the song itself is the flower.
Yeah,
Because
that's
it's like it's something
true.
you create after the grief or after like because like that's what he did. He
Yeah,
didn't just let it like he was grieving, his partner or whatever, but you can still make something out of it instead of just like nothing.
that is very true. That's why the lotus flower is one of my favorite flowers because it represents like beauty in the muck, like something coming out of something that's
Yeah, like a diamond in the rough kind of.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool how like it's always been really bewildering to me too, where it's like I'll write something and then read it back years later and it takes on new meaning
Mm-hmm.
is a crazy thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like I think there's something really it's like giving voice to the subconscious when you write, and then you can like look at it and it's like a mirror, it like reflects you back, kind of like yeah, like a mirror, like the water. And um it's like I didn't mean to write that, but like the intention is like clearly there. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're doing stuff subconsciously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. And it's kind of cool to think like when you're writing about a muse, like in a sense, you feel like you're actually like channeling that muse. I
Yeah.
don't know. You're kind of like calling upon something beyond yourself, which is kind of cool.
That is really meta. Like you're directly writing about a muse.
Yeah. So I'm just like,
That's cool.
from source.
You can do that if the muse that you pick has to do with history.
Yeah.
So it becomes like the whole story with the flower that comes from that, but also the way that you're looking at that now has to do with like looking back.
Yeah.
That's all you already wrote,
Mm-hmm.
and like what part of that now means something, which is what that means is that.
That's crazy. Yeah. And I didn't even think about it at the time too, but like the history repeats itself thing, like that also has to do with the cycles. I didn't even really think about that. Like at the time I was just thinking about how like the tragic sort of curse, but I wasn't thinking about how history like really played a role in all of that. So, it's
Reminds-
fun.
My favorite book of all time is The Alchemist.
Oh, so good. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite books. Yeah.
And there's a line in there that you reminded me of, that Melchizedek was telling the boy, and he tells him, anything that happens once only happens once, but anything that happens a second time will surely happen a third time. So it's like what happens once is final, but if something repeats, then it repeats forever, basically.
Interesting.
Yeah. It is interesting how like stories repeat, like history, like you're saying, history repeats, and like we invent new stories, but they're just spins on older stories. Like we really don't like creation in storytelling is just taking two ideas and merging them together, kind of, or like putting a spin on it.
Yeah. I'm really into Carl Jung for that kind of stuff because he talks about mythology and like archetypes a lot, and kind of how the archetypes like play a role in our collective unconscious and stuff. It's like really fascinating to me. That's kind of how I perceive like astrology too, because I'm really into that. Like I just see that more or less as like, yeah, just like mythology, mythological archetypes like repeating themselves and kind of like creating new mixtures in us. Like we are all unique, we're all our own person, but like we're all some sort of blend of what came before us at the same time. Like, you're never gonna find a 100% unique, like never seen before person with never heard before ideas. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. That makes it like communal, and that makes you feel connected to like your ancestors and people before you. Like I don't know. I kind of appreciate that.
Yeah. I think it's funny too. I'm just thinking now, like where myth meets history. So like like Greek myth, but like about a historian, right? Because it's like there's so many of like all of the like great historical figures going back to like Jesus or Noah or like the Buddha, but also as recently as like George Washington is like there's, or like Christopher Columbus. There is clearly a lot of this that is not true, right? But it's like also this is a person that probably existed. So it's like that history is a lot of that, and it kind of the astrology thing is like if you're looking at it like from a purely scientific point of view, it may not like fit in your framework of reality, but like we're talking about metaphysics and like the fact that it's in the subconscious, like in the collective unconscious, does give like myths like credence, right? Like there's an idea called an egregore, where it's like if a bunch of people all worship something, like that takes a form outside of everyone and like kind of exists in its own way.
I never knew there was a term for that. I've always kind of said that. I've always kind of said I feel like every religion or spiritual belief is sort of true in its own way because people create meaning. Like their belief kind of makes it real in a sense. Like, but interesting.
For sure.
Egregore.
I mean, like, I think we can all kind of like, if you think about it and like put feelers out, you can kind of tell that America is alive, right? Like it itself is a thing. It's and like every country, every idea is like that.
Yeah. I was even just thinking about that with like the thought of sports teams. Today, I was like, how did this become like a huge, like living, breathing thing that's like so far beyond anyone? Especially like the professional things where it's never the same people. Like it's like a corporation where people are always moving in and out. It's like, but it still has diehard fans. People will stay with the same team for like 50 years.
For sure.
Or think of the idea of like, there's like a kid who was raised with football, for example, his whole life. He goes to a high school. He's always been on the football team. Goes to college, gets into college because of his football skills or whatever. Graduates, joins like an NFL team, and then imagine if this guy just exclusively bought like NFL merch for everything.
Yeah,
he could be completely consumed in that football culture, and that's just like a thing that like a meme that is not real, but like it's just created because all these other people are obsessed with football.
Mhm.
Turning thoughts into reality is like a very human thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like out of obsession.
I
It's
mean,
like
money.
Yeah.
There's that little thing.
in Genesis, God tells Adam to name the animals, and that's like a specifically human thing, is pointing and calling it something. Like I was thinking about like correlation too. Like we do this a lot with we'll ascribe a color to a feeling,
Mm,
or like this color represents something.
yeah.
Like red is stop, green is go, and it's like that's so arbitrary, and is just totally just pulling out of a hat. you
Yeah.
know? But like it's something that is uniquely human. It's something only we do.
Hmm.
Yeah. Even the gods, like in the myths, it's like God tasks Adam with naming.
Hmm.
Yeah. it's
Like
pretty
that's
wild.
your job now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That I think about that sometimes with the color thing, like how green especially can represent both hope and envy. Like it can be like a really like beautiful, naturey, happy-go-lucky color, but it's also used to represent a lot of villains.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like poison ivy.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I have synesthesia, so I'm big. I'm like extra big on making things connect that just
Oh,
don't
shit.
like.
What is that
I'm
like?
like that sounds like this landscape. Well,
I've
for
always
me,
wondered about this.
it's like everyone has it differently, but for me, it's mainly just like it, I can tune in to like people's voices individually, like if they ask, but like usually it works in the sense of like I'm listening to music and I can close my eyes and just see like a whole music video playing out, like a whole landscape and whole scenes and just like things going on. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Like, yeah, that probably affects your writing process quite a bit, I would imagine. Like it feeds back on itself.
Yeah. Because especially my writing process is all over the place. Like it depends on where I start. But if I'm starting with just the sounds, if I'm starting with playing instruments and playing guitar or just like singing a melody or whatever, a lot of times whatever scene that sounds like will kind of give me ideas for the lyrics. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a little mossy, grassy little meadow with like two deer in it. Cool.
Yeah.
Write about that. I've never written about that, but like
You could.
that's just something I thought about.
When you're like creating things, do you I guess do you like try things out and then it sounds certain way, or do you ever picture something first and then try to make that as it sounds, or try to write it out?
It kind of depends. It's usually a little mix of both. I would say a majority of the time, it's kind of like more so throwing darts at the wall and seeing what sticks. But like sometimes I do get like a really crystal clear like vision of like going to try and make that happen. But a lot of times just to get the creative process started, I'm like, okay, I just need to like get somewhere and then get a jumping off point. But a lot of the way that I write is like when I'm by myself, I'm singing probably 99% of the time. So I'm just like always singing a bunch of random nonsense. And then every now and then I'll like catch myself singing something that sounds like a melody. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You stay. So I have like a billion voice memos. So many.
That's so important to like capture it when you give it.
Yes.
Because like I make the mistake all the time about like I'll write this down later.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what was I gonna write down?
Oh,
It's like it was so good. There's no way I'm gonna forget this, right? It was such a good idea. I don't have to worry about writing it down because I'm gonna remember it and then it's gone.
Oh my gosh, have you ever seen the memes about how it's not a meme, but it's like a compilation? I guess it can be called a meme. I don't know. Anyways, it's a compilation of David Lynch just saying so many times in so many different interviews, like just like super pessimistic things about like he's like, if I get an idea that I love and I don't write it down, it makes me want to kill myself.
seen that.
There's just so many things of him talking about that exact concept.
Fun little segue about David Lynch. He used to read the weather every morning.
Interesting.
Like he would do his local weather and just like live stream it every morning for years. And when I found out about this, it was on the podcast we were live streaming. and my friend Emily told me about this, and I'm like, okay, stop the train. We have to go pull up today's weather report by David Lynch. And I do. And at the end of it, he's like, everyone should check out the song White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. And I'm like,
Serendipity.
what the fuck is that?
That's crazy.
I think that dude was absolutely tapped into like
the deep well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
sort of like surreal, like it doesn't make sense, but it actually makes like a ton of sense somehow. Is like that's such a David Lynch thing.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
wonder if he has some Pisces in his chart. I gotta look into that.
So last time you were here, we talked about AI quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
And something you said earlier, to harken back to that, you were talking about how when you set out to write this song, it ended up being a different thing. Like it didn't quite go the way you intended it to, and it ended up being something different.
Mm-hmm.
That is something AI will never be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna like make a mistake and then adjust and try and change it later on. It's like you intend to do something, and it's like the error part, right? Like you tried to do something and like, for lack of a better word, like failed, and like it became something else. Do you disagree with that?
Yeah, kind of. It doesn't. Yeah, I will do stuff and then be like, it's not that, and then do another thing. Like even if it's like it's not really doing that.
Yeah, I mean,
Like you've seen that,
How
right,
do-
where you prompt an AI with something and it will, like one of the things is, I don't know what, my sister was using an AI to help her write like a cover letter or something. And one of the things that, I guess ChatGPT or something is known for having something in the end of like the last sentence has some, like it always does this with the last sentence. Which is making you like telling it not to do that, so that it doesn't look like okay, can you reword that it doesn't have this type of punctuation? And it would do it again, it's like no, like without that, and then it would do it again without any other prompt, be like, oops, that still has it, let me try again, and you finally gave her one of it back. So it does do at least, I don't know what exactly it's doing behind the scenes, but it does catch itself doing things, acknowledge that that was a mistake, and then
But you're talking about something else. You're talking about taking a mistake and turning it into something new, like turning it
Yeah.
into something different.
I definitely hear what you're saying. I was thinking more, and that makes sense. I was thinking like in music, it's like you're trying to make a specific sound, and it sounds different than what you intended, right?
Then you
It's
just
like
go
a
along
machine.
with it.
A machine is like it's going to hit the note perfectly every time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to make a mistake in that way.
Yeah, and I think that's an important thing too, is like as an artist, you can like really be in tune with what the mistake is, and you can be like, actually that doesn't feel like a mistake, and then you can like pivot and just like decide to go in that direction, and you're not so phased. Like things don't have to be as clear as like correct or incorrect. It's just like a journey that you're going on, and you're just like discovering new things as you go along. Which I think AI is very like, it's programmed to just be like, is this what you want, or is this not what you want? Is this what you asked for, or is this not what you asked for? It's like correct, not correct.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, the creative process is very much not that way. It's like you can technically not do something the way you originally intended, but it never truly feels like a mistake in my eyes.
Yeah.
Unless it's like literally you're playing through the song and you like mess up the
It's a
notes.
happy
It's like,
accident.
it's a happy little accident, like Bob Ross said. Yeah. It's like, yeah, so I agree with that. And I think that's so important to the creative process. Like that's what makes it exciting to be an artist and to create, is like the little things you discover. Like, because if you just sit down and you have a very clear idea of exactly what you want and you follow a formula and you just get it done and you're like, here, some people do kind of make music that way, and no problem, like it's what it is. But like, I don't know, to me that doesn't really feel like excitingly creative. That just kind of feels like work, like just an assignment.
Yeah.
As like creating something should, like, I don't know, open up all new kinds of like side quests and feel like a little game, a little
Yeah.
adventure.
Yeah, you're speaking to like the journey and like improvisation.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
And that's the, could AI jam?
That's a good question.
Because that's the ultimate example of that. For a human, they're like actively, it's like impromptu, like making art as they're playing, and they're changing it
Yeah.
up as they're doing it. Could AI do that?
Well, I think it's also a little weird because it's like, at least the way I'm hearing it, sounds like for if AI could do something like make art, you have to basically unshackle it and let it do whatever it wants.
Mhm.
And it seems like so it becomes this weird thing also with being like, well, people don't want it to do that. That's why it can't do that.
Yeah.
As opposed to like it can't do that because it can't.
And I don't think it even knows what it wants. I don't know. I don't know if AI can get that advanced. I'm sure it can, which kind of freaks me out. But I just can't imagine AI reaching a point where it's like truly like, yeah, I want to do this. That it has like feelings where it's like, just feels like creating something. Like I feel like, at least the way it's designed for now, it's supposed to be used as a tool to like assist us in getting what we want.
Yeah,
The thought of it just wanting to improvise freaks me out.
We're just wanting,
it's not good.
just wanting
Yeah.
period.
To answer your question, I feel like if it did jam, it would suck.
Yeah,
It would not be good.
I think that's the question: is can it jam well?
Yeah.
No, it can't.
I think there's also a little bit of the question of how would you even evaluate if it's doing like what it is doing? Because a lot of it comes down to like almost like intention.
Oh, sure, it might look like a jam, but it's not following the process like jazz musicians are.
Right, but then
Mhm.
it becomes really weird because then you ask, okay, well, what are jazz musicians doing? It's pretty sick, but that's not what they're doing.
Sure, then you'd have to like define that, and that's
That's where I think it gets
Yeah.
really weird. Yeah,
definitely, yeah. Yeah, you're right. The problem is we don't understand what we're doing. So it's hard to say that it is or isn't doing that because we don't like, it's like, is AI conscious? It's like, well, are we?
no.
Like, who knows?
Some
What does that even
people-
mean?
Some people.
Some people are, some people
Yeah.
not so much. Some people somewhere in between, depends on the day. I'm probably in the in between. I feel like I'm conscious most of the time. Every now and then I'm like,
Yeah, except when I'm asleep.
I'm conscious every time I'm not subconscious.
I'm only conscious when I'm asleep.
Whoa.
Stay asleep.
I do be conscious when I'm asleep sometimes though.
What do you
I've
mean?
lucid dreamed like 3 times.
Nice.
You know about lucid dreaming?
Yeah, I've got a couple of lucid dream stories. I want to hear yours
Yeah.
though.
The first time I did it, I was like really obsessed with the idea. I think I was in high school and I had just gone down this whole rabbit hole, thing, of being obsessed with learning about like sleep paralysis and lucid dreaming and all the things. So then I was like really trying to train myself to do it. And I wasn't able to do it for a while. And then one day I like woke up and fell back asleep. And that's when it finally happened. It started, this was kind of funny. So in high school, I didn't have my first kiss until I was like 18, probably. Late bloomers though. Like the dream started with me like kissing a guy, and that's when I knew I was dreaming. I was like, this isn't real right now. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm dreaming. I can do what I want. Yeah.
Can finally kiss the boy.
So then I like turned the world into like just like there were just trampolines everywhere. I was just doing a bunch of front flips and
Nice.
stuff.
How long were you able to do that?
Not very long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
felt myself slipping pretty fast.
Yeah, that's my problem too.
Mhm.
Only time I've been able to lucid dream is when I was using a dream journal and trying. There are things you can do to make lucid dreaming easier.
Mhm.
Like if you basically if you journal at night, or no, it's if you keep a dream journal, then when you wake up, you write it down.
Yeah.
And really, the point of that is when you're asleep, you know that when you wake up, the first thing you're going to do is write it down. And that's what's important. Not so much the writing it down, but the like, you knowing that you're like trying to do something while you're asleep. And the maybe like the first or I've only lucid dreamed like twice, and this is either the first or second time. I was in this big house and I walked in on like 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 a eyes wide shut party, like a masked orgy, basically. And it quickly became clear that like I was not supposed to see what I was seeing. And they started chasing me.
Oh no, it's like Inception.
Yeah, and so I run out of the house and around the corner, and it's a big wooden fence, and I'm like, fuck. And my back's like, I turn around, and this masked guy has like a shotgun.
Oh,
And he's about to shoot me, and that's when I realized I was in a dream. Is like in this life or death situation. I'm like, oh wait a minute, I'm dreaming right there. There's no stakes. So I just like force pushed
Nice.
him, and it's like, and I'm like, oh shit, this is awesome. And they started flying, and like I remember very clearly, like just the like the so real, like the wind hitting my face and
Yeah.
like the leaves rustling, like so clear,
So cool.
such a like vivid image. And then like as I'm flying, I wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the second time I did it was an accident. But that time I was like, oh shit, it's happening. I was like, I need to fly. Gotta do it. Gotta try it out. So I was like flying for a little bit. And then for some reason, I just hit like a mental wall. And then my dream wouldn't let me fly anymore. And I was like stuck on the ground. And I was like trying to get up off the ground. And it was like, I could like kind of hover, but then I couldn't fly. I was like, damn.
My mom has told me that she has like a reoccurring dream where she can fly but only like a foot off the ground. That's like useless.
Yeah,
Definitely
unfortunate.
have to switch, like you fly, it's like so difficult.
Yeah.
More like almost like more like a balloon. You're like falling through the awkward.
Yeah.
Just falling into trees and stuff.
Yeah, the physics ain't physics ain't.
I hate when the physics don't physics.
Have y'all ever lucid dreamed?
I'd say more often than not.
Mm.
Really?
more often than not. What's your craziest? Or at least funny one or whatever.
Well,
This is just your life.
because I
Just
used
everything.
Are you lucid dreaming right now?
no, I used to that used to be something I really wanted when I was younger. So like the majority of my dreams when I was younger, the dream would be me trying to figure out the dream, and then figuring out it's a dream, and then having like what feels like a few seconds of like do whatever I want. Of like it is, I know it's a dream now. Then like I start flying, and then it's like oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I would say if I, maybe I feel very good, but there's certain reoccurring things in dreams like I don't try to make it what I want it to be, but I'm almost always aware that it is a dream.
Mm-hmm.
So like one of the things that always comes back to me in dreams is something will be happening like I'm like driving in a car or something. There's like a huge trip to China. I go like off it and it's like a dream, so it goes like like crazy high, like 100 feet up in the air, And there's this thing that always comes back to me in dreams like this, where I'm aware that it's not permanent. So I'm like, I can actually go back to earlier in the dreams if this doesn't work,
Oh.
as opposed to being like, oh, I'm gonna die. It's not like, oh, I gotta wake up, or oh, I'm scared. It's like, oh, I'm gonna close my eyes and go back to the earlier point of the dream and do something different. But
That's cool.
yeah, I'd say most dreams I have, I'm aware that and one of the odd things is if I'm not aware that I'm in a dream, I'm trying to figure out if I'm in a dream. Like it's
That's
at the
probably the
forefront
key.
of the dream that
Mhm.
I'm thinking about, is this a dream?
Yeah.
I can totally see that for you because like we've had discussions about simulations, like trying to figure out if we're in a simulation.
Mm-hmm.
And like that is just it's such a you thing, like trying to figure out if you're in base reality. Yeah.
Just like always in the back of your
Yeah,
mind.
Yeah.
Did y'all know- I remember when I was trying to look up when I was younger, like how to lucid dream. Another part of like the writing things down in the morning is like the component of like getting familiar with what your dream world looks like and acts like. And one thing I was reading on Google, which I've never like personally experienced myself, I don't think, but I think it's interesting, is that time like moves, like clocks will move backwards in dreams.
No
So
shit.
it's like if you have like a watch, like one of the things said to like wear a watch regularly that you like always look like, or regularly look at clocks, because if you look at a clock in a dream and you're used to like looking at one, you'll see it like going,
Whoa.
yeah,
That's
crazy.
what are the implications of that?
I don't
That's
even
crazy.
know. Sometimes I wonder if like our dreams are literally us tapping into like the spiritual realm or like the afterlife, like some kind of like Beetlejuice type place. And like they'll let us just exist there while we're like unconscious that it's happening. But then like maybe that's why at the moment we get lucid, like someone's like, no, shut it down. They're like, the mortal is aware. Bring them back to their reality.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way.
Yeah.
I know it's understood that things need sleep, but it's not clear why, right? Like we don't really know why we have to sleep, we just know we do. And it's like there are like repercussions to not sleeping physically, mentally.
I've felt them.
Yeah. Like
I've been there.
if you do it long enough, you'll just straight up die, like your heart will
Yeah.
stop. So we need sleep, but like I'm out of my element here, but I've heard that they don't really understand why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very fascinating to me. I don't understand it, but on the simulation level of things, it could be like our brains. Well, this isn't even simulation stuff. It's just literally true that our brains are kind of like computers. But you know, like computers every now and then need to reboot. They need to like sleep and like update stuff. So maybe that's just our time for our little brain computers to update. And that's a lot of when you're, so like your brain stores a bunch of memories. Like a big chunk of your memory is stored while you're sleeping. I do know that much. So that's kind of interesting. If you're like not getting a lot of sleep, then like, I don't know, you might not remember as much from that time.
I wonder if that's what long-term memory is whether or not it's happened today or not. Like if it happened today, that's short-term, and maybe that's totally wrong also. But I wonder if that's what long-term memory is like whether you've slept or not since then.
Maybe.
That's cool though. So you like store those memories when you sleep. That's interesting.
Storing memories. It's a lot of like your body will help like, finish digesting stuff that's unfinished. It'll like repair. That's when it goes into repair mode and like goes and heals all your little scratches and your sore muscles and stuff.
It's a little reset.
It's just your little reboot time.
Yeah.
I love sleep.
Also, a lot of learning here.
Yeah.
Like, even outside of sleep, like if you're trying to learn something, you actually want to separate from it and like rest.
Yeah.
And they've done like monitored brain activity while it's happening to show that the same signals while you're doing it, it plays those. I think it actually plays them backwards, but like 10 times faster.
Wow.
You actually learn faster when you're not doing it.
Wow, that's cool.
That is super cool. That reminds me that I had an awesome chorus teacher in high school. Her name was Miss Barner. Shout out Miss Barner. But she would always like, once we got to like a certain point of practicing a chunk of a song, and she could kind of tell like people were getting tired or whatever, she'd be like, okay, like put that away. We'll let it marinate. So she'd always let songs marinate. So we would alternate between like different batches of songs every day and come back to the one like 1 or 2 days later. And it actually helped so much. So I've used that in my own practice with music and otherwise many times. And it's real. It really does help to like give it some time to like settle in.
I think it was Thomas Edison, but somebody supposedly they actually trained themselves so that they would basically go to bed thinking about something as a problem, and then they would, while they're asleep, it would solve it. If they wake up and it's solved, but they trained themselves to do this, that they would pick a specific problem that they would like. They'd be like, whatever, say like, I'm working on this all day, and I'm not even gonna worry about this other thing, and then before I go to bed, I'm gonna think about that thing. That way it's solved when I wake up.
That's crazy. That sounds like something Edison would do. That sounds like something I could never do.
There might be
I could not.
sort of in the same vein there. I can't remember who it was, but there was like this Japanese general that if he was like having a hard time figuring out a problem or a strategy, he would do origami. And he's like, this is 10 times harder than the problem I need to solve. So if I just do something much harder, this thing's easier by comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably also just the whole practice of like doing something with your hands that's like repetitive and gets your mind off of it into like a meditative state. A lot of times if I really need to like sort something out or get creative, like I'll get into crocheting or do the dishes or do something like repetitive with my hands, and that usually helps clear the fog.
Yeah.
You need like a little repetitive thing to do with your hands sometimes.
Yeah, that's a meditative, like crochet is very meditative.
Mhm.
So washing the dishes, not to mention that is like a very like, where is your mind when you're washing dishes? It's kind of like, yeah.
Man, speaking of the voice memos, I actually have so many voice memos of like you hear like the water going in the background because I'm like, that's what I'm coming up with all my ideas. I'm like singing in the yeah.
Are you
Cool.
optimistic about the future?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
You know,
No wrong answers.
Mostly I'm choosing to say yes. I think optimism after a certain point of like acceptance and growing older and seeing the world and stuff, I think optimism becomes more of a choice than just something you do, I don't know, like out of fear, like just because it's like happy go lucky. Like, I don't know, like as you get older, you choose whether to maintain hope or to become cynical. And I very much believe like we all have many different parts of our psyche. And I definitely have a cynic in here. Like she's there. She's strong. But it's kind of like the two wolves thing, like whatever wolf you feed. It's like I have like an optimistic wolf who I'm feeding extra. I'm feeding her steak, bones, treats, giving her all the best toys, pets, best wolf. The cynical wolf, like it's already there, so may as well at least like feed it some kibble. But like I'm not doing anything extra on that.
Yeah, they don't get the people food.
They don't get all that extra work. It's like you're there and I'm accepting you. And sometimes it's valid, but it's like not the thing that I want to feed within me. So it's like I feel like there is plenty to be cynical about right now, and things feel a little grim and a little beyond our control for sure. And that has been weighing on my mind a lot. But I don't know. I never want to give up hope, and I think that's the only thing that could make the evil forces win is if the good people give up hope. Which Jane Goodall went out with a bang. She went out saying that exact thing. She was like, "People do not give up hope. Like that's what we have. Like
that's all we
keep
get.
fighting the good fight." So I'm choosing to be optimistic about the future.
I think I need to be reminded that sometimes optimism is a choice. Because I think I forget that sometimes. It's like you say that and it's like I guess I did know that, but at some point I forgot that.
I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, because like I don't always feel optimistic. But I could make myself, and that's like manifesting a little bit, right? Like you do that enough and it becomes true. So I think that's really important.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and I've been like leaning on that a little extra lately. I don't know, in any hard times, that really comes through. The themes from that really come through for me, but especially lately, it feels like the freaking Battle of Helm's Deep right now.
Yeah.
There's like a sea of orcs. It's like we're all dying, and it's like, holy shit, we're not gonna win.
Yeah.
But like Aragorn never gave up hope. All the little hobbits never gave up hope.
Except we keep morning.
We keep fighting a good fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, all that said, it is scary times right now. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot that we need to overcome to like really secure a brighter future for ourselves and the next generations. Like so much environmental stuff and otherwise.
I'm experiencing this really weird phenomenon where I'm like at the best point in my life, like across the board, like in every way. My life is better than it's ever been, pretty much. and also it kind of feels like the world's going down the toilet
Yeah.
at the same time, which is doing this really weird thing to my mind where I'm like, I don't know, it just feels like I'm very fortunate and I'm grateful for that, but it also like it feels selfish a little bit.
Mm,
Like, I don't know, I have a hard time just enjoying it.
mhm. I'm glad you said that. I'm not glad you feel that way, but glad you said that because I feel that exact same way right now. Like a lot of things are really like lining up for me right now, and like I feel like I'm really sort of like stepping into my like sort of like I have arrived era, like what I've been trying to be. Like I feel like I'm like getting there. It feels really good. But yeah, at the same time, there's so much sort of on like a personal family level and also on a wide scale world level that feels scary and feels like things that I have to like grieve or accept. There's just like some scary stuff happening right now, and it's very weird to know how to feel. Like
Yeah.
every day, I just feel a whole mixture of emotions. But I get that. To go back to you saying I feel selfish, I always carry these things off of my cans.
Me too.
And then I just end up like waving them around. Like throwing them around. Anyways, I have also struggled with the feeling of feeling selfish for like enjoying the little wins right now, or like choosing one day to like not plug in and just like have a mindful day where I'm like not listening to the news and I'm not talking about things. So I'm just like focusing on myself. Like it's a line to toe, I think. It's a very delicate line because ultimately, like I do believe that prioritizing your mental health and choosing to be happy and like choosing to celebrate the small wins is an act of resistance. Like that is you
Yeah.
like fighting back. And like we can only give so much if we're in a space where we feel like we can't be happy. So like if you're prioritizing your own sort of like self-fulfillment and you're like letting yourself feel good and you're letting yourself celebrate these wins, then you have so much more to give people in the long run. And things really build from there. Like the way every single one of us treats our neighbor or like just a random person we meet each day. If we're in a good mood and you do like a nice thing for someone, then they might do a nice thing for someone else. And then that like, it like echoes across your whole community. And then however your community's feeling, it echoes across the city. Yeah. So I believe every little thing, every little bit of progress, even if it starts on a cellular level, like it's still progress on a bigger level too. Like it's all connected.
For sure. That's absolutely true. That part of my rhetoric lately, something I've been talking about a lot is I think evil is ignorant. Like for kind of the same reason you're talking about, like if you just like do an act of kindness for someone, like even just like just being kind, just being nice to people, you cannot even you couldn't possibly understand the impact that has, because that has a ripple effect that carries on forever through all time. And like, so that act of kindness, maybe not, but maybe it does make that person be kind to others. And so it's like generations later, it still has a positive impact. So like you couldn't possibly understand the gift you put out into the world. And I think the same is true of evil, because if you do something cruel or mean to someone, they might, we talked about this recently, it's the death of innocence. It's why hurting children is universally the worst thing you can do. Is what it does is, and like when it doesn't happen this way, it's a miracle. But like if you abuse someone, you have put that you possessed them with that same spirit of evil, and they might grow up to be, it happens all the time. Like
Mhm.
evil perpetuates evil.
Mhm.
So it's like evil is ignorant because you couldn't possibly understand the negative impact you just put out into the world.
Yeah.
And even if you're like you're like a psychopath or a sociopath and you just don't care, it's still stupid because it's like, well, that's gonna come back and bite you in
Mhm.
ways you don't comprehend,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. Anyway,
Tenfold rule.
yeah. What do you think about that idea?
I think that is very true, and I think that's something that a lot of people are uncomfortable with. It's an uncomfortable thing to swallow, really. And I think when you were saying that, it like specifically reminded me like of how people who come from backgrounds that were like less fortunate somehow, like some way, like they were either abused as a kid or they grew up with like little to nothing, like their parents just couldn't support them or whatever. Like I feel like so many people who come from a place of privilege like to just like point out little examples of like, oh well, people can have bad things happen to them, but they can like rise up and be strong and like move on. Like this person did it. I feel like people try to focus on that so much more because it's like it makes them happy and it feels less uncomfortable. But I feel like the sad reality is like an overwhelming majority of cases of people being raised in some kind of fucked up environment, it's like going to produce just generational fucked uppery. Like it's for the vast majority of people, they're gonna do what they're taught to do. Like that's just how the human brain is designed. Like people who get out of that are the exception. Like they're a rare exception. So yeah,
because they wouldn't believe the inverse of that. They wouldn't believe like, oh, if you take a kid and you give them love and kindness and wealth and this, oh, they're gonna turn evil. Like
sometimes they do.
I mean, they do. But that's the point. The point is, that's like
That's
an
a
exception.
knowledge.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
almost,
Yeah.
to me, sounds like financial advice to play the lottery.
Mm.
Like, well, there are
Yeah.
examples of winners.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's not a good.
Like,
That's a
yeah,
good point.
That's
I
not
like
a
that
good
example.
that is so real.
Like we all believe in generational trauma, but why can't we start believing in like the opposite or make a word for it, like a generational, like I don't know, good or
Yeah, like
Mhm.
a generational blessing.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm definitely blessed in that way, just like having really good parents, like it is a blessing. And it did like it has like that we can all think of like role models of people who had like a massive positive, at least hopefully, right?
Mhm.
Had like a massive positive influence on our life.
Yeah, I mean, I think about that like in a sense of like love too. I don't know, maybe I was thinking about a song. I don't know, but like think about how I was lucky to like my parents are still together, and they had some hard times like earlier in my childhood, but like they got through it. And then my papa and Nushi's the one who just passed away early this year. She's my mom's mom, my mom's parents. They were married till the day she died. Like I don't even know how many years. I think it was like 60.
Wow.
It's like 60 something years. And like I got to see them like at that era of their marriage just still being so loving, just like absolutely loving each other so much. And then like I've met people in my life who just like never had that example growing up. Like they've never like seen what it's like to like see people in like long lasting, healthy living relationships. And that can like seriously just fuck up their whole perception. Like that can kind of make people like never really find that themselves because they don't believe it's possible. Like it's just so important to, I don't know, it just cannot be understated how important it is to grow up with examples of love and goodness.
Yeah, especially for kids.
Yeah. I mean, that's like when your brain is forming. It's like when it's like, I don't know, making itself. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of what. Oh, now it's time for my book plug.
Oh, there we go.
I didn't write this
Let's
book. A genius wrote it, a literal genius. This is a masterpiece. I just want everyone to read this book. It's called Evicted by Matthew Desmond. And it won the Pulitzer Prize and New York Times 10 best books. And it is like one of the most important books of the 21st century. Like I would put it there. like this guy is a sociologist who basically went into, like, he started by wanting to study poverty in general, and then he wanted to study the relationship between like the ultra poor and the ultra rich, because he felt like on all the research, like poor people were kind of just being like cast as this like other thing, like they were just kind of being like put in isolation, like in a vacuum. He's like, that's not the way the world works. Like these people interact, like poor people aren't just over here like separate from society. So then he thought eviction was a way to study that, because that's where they're like directly.
Sure.
So he went and stayed in a trailer park in Milwaukee for a little while and wrote about that. And then he went and stayed in a ghetto in Milwaukee on the north side. And he just like writes all these tales of these people. He follows like 6 families, and there's like side quests too. But it's just one of the most beautiful. It's like heartbreaking, but so beautiful and so important and like so empathetic, and just I learned so much. So highly recommend.
Would you want to talk about it on my book club?
I would be down
Let's
down
do
to
it.
have a book club moment.
I think we got a next opening is like February, so we got some time.
Mhm.
But yeah, it'll be a little bit.
Nice.
But
Yeah, I just finished this
Yeah.
last night, and that's why I was like, I have to go spread this on the mountain, because it made me cry at the end. I was like, over.
that's really cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, a lot of what he talks about is like just, it really puts into light like exactly what people are like what we were just talking about this generational thing, like
Yeah,
how
it's a
hard
good
it is to
segue.
break out of it. It's like so many people, like it like puts it into focus, like why it's so hard to break out of
Yeah.
it. It's like it like makes you follow real people, like just like see things through their eyes. Like you feel like you're there. Like, it's really well written. Like kind of feel like you're reading like a fiction book. It's just all the details are just so, it's crazy. It's funny. But
Yeah.
highly recommend. It's amazing.
You know, for when you don't have role models or positive influences in your life, that's when like a really good author can like help a lot too. Like,
True.
a good piece of art like can
Mhm.
replace not having loving
Yeah.
parents.
And that's honestly like, I mean, in general, even if you do have loving parents, I think there'll always be like such an importance of art in the sense that it like a lot of times provides a new sort of role model, or like a new sense of connection with someone who you like really needed to have that connection with that you didn't already have in your life. Like that's why music was so important to me growing up. It's like my parents were loving, like all things considered, like had a pretty good childhood, but like there were a lot of times where I felt misunderstood and like the black sheep, and like just like I felt like there were bits and pieces of me that just weren't being seen, or like just weren't understood by the people I was around. And I found that in music. Like I found that in listening to the music that I loved, and like it's like, okay, I'm not alone. Like I have this person. I don't know this person personally, but I feel like I do through the song. Like, so that's a lot of why I make art. This place, I'm like, if I can give someone else that, like if I can be there for someone, like when they need a voice, I don't know, saying the right things, and like that's great. Like my purpose in life. So,
Yeah. I heard I think it was Dave Smith talking about Joe Rogan, and he's like, something I get asked a lot is like, what is Joe actually like? And he's like, that's what it is. Like it's like not a facade. So it's like if you pay attention to his content, like I mean, whether you like him or not, like that is who he is, at least according to this guy saying it. And I think that's really cool. It's like you kind of do know the people that like you engage with their music or their writings or like their art, you do kind of know them. Like I still haven't really gotten used to like doing this. I'll meet someone and they like know what I think about like philosophical topics is like really weird to me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I forgot, like that's on the internet.
Like,
to
oh yeah,
watch
he's
that.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're so connected in like really cool ways, and it's got like a lot of like negative side effects as well.
Yeah.
But it is really cool being at this point in time. And like one of my big takeaways of this conversation is actively being optimistic in defiance, like as a protest, like as to combat evil, practice kindness and optimism. And I really think that's all we need.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as like laughter and kindness.
Mm-hmm. That's what
is what the world needs right now.
Mm-hmm. And that's what like the evil forces at large, like they want to see people terrified. They want to see people crying. They want to see people fighting with each other. Like they want to see all of that because they're like, oh, cool, the people are divided, we win. Like
yeah.
But when they see people, like a giant mass of people all being connected and being together and like smiling and dancing together, it's like, oh, that's kind of scary. Those people could all turn against us. Like, damn.
Not to get super political.
I was kind of starting to get there.
I preface and then get into politics. But like,
all right, it's going.
I've never seen America more united in my lifetime anyway than everyone being like, yeah, release the fucking Ep.2 files on both sides.
Period.
Everyone's like, yeah, fuck this shit. Give us the fucking Ep.2 files. And everyone's kind of like on the same page about that. And then a very high profile, very politicized
look at that.
assassination happens. And all of a sudden everyone's at each other's throats again. And we're divided. And I'm like, well, that is either very convenient or suspicious as fuck, right?
I think it's suspicious as fuck.
It's sus. It's super sus.
Because there was also like, I can't remember exactly what happened, but I think like the next day after he died, they had like sneakily voted to like overturn it or something. Like they had done something kind of like under the table while everyone's paying attention to that.
Congress voted I thought it was more stacked than it was, but I looked into this the other day. It was like 51 to 49.
It was pretty close.
Just barely over. And bipartisan issue, like neither side wants this released, right? And it's like because everyone goes down. That comes out. Like everyone. And I think it happened. I might be wrong about this. I think it happened the same day that Charlie Kirk was shot.
Damn.
Yeah, but I mean, it might be the day after, but either way, right? Like,
interesting.
Yeah, that one's weird as fuck. That one's weird as fuck. And like, I mean, so was the assassination attempt before that, like the last year. That was also weird as fuck. Yeah. And like, I don't think one cool thing that makes me very optimistic is I think people are waking up. Yeah. I think people are stopped. They're like, we're not playing the left-right game anymore. We're like, oh no, this is top versus like, this is top the bottom. Super rich versus everyone else.
Man, that's what, do you know who James Talerico is? He's, oh my gosh, I love him. He's like the first politician I've actually been excited about in a long time. He lives in Texas. I think he's running for Senate, but he is like a Presbyterian, I think. Pastor or whatever, but he's like super progressive with a lot of his ideas, and he like actually acts like Jesus would.
What's his name?
In my opinion, James Talerico. But he's been doing a lot of speeches lately, and that's been his big thing. Is like he's like they want us looking from left to right, but really, what the problem is top to bottom. Like he's been saying that exact thing. So like he seems like someone who could actually pull people together, hopefully.
So, fingers crossed.
It'll be nice. It could be nice.
Yeah. Well, Brooke, thanks for coming back.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure having you. You are such a good guest to talk to. I'm so glad you came back. Curse of Clio, out October 21st. Brooke Haynes. At where are you gonna be?
Urban Cowboy. Urban Cowboy.
Oh yeah. Urban Cowboy, October 21st. and Stream Cursive Clio same day.
You have to be there. You can meet her parents.
You have to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
there.
yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
go hard.
Mostly we're going for Brooke's parents. She will also be there playing her song.
We're doing shots with my parents.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Let's fucking-
Yeah, apparently her dad likes talking to younger dudes and making
Yeah.
friends. So
Well, don't say it like that.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
And on that note, we'll see you next week.
I'm dead. Bye, Alice.